This is a graph of people voting in the United States about lowering the drinking age. This huge orange slice right here is people who have voted to lower the drinking age to 18. This little itty bitty green slice is people who have voted to keep it 21. This graph is from procon.org. What this graph is showing is basically we need to turn the drinking age from 21 to 18. What I want to talk about today is some pros or things where I think it would be better for the age to be for the age to be lowered to 18 rather than 21. Then I want to talk about the concerns that people might have about lowering the drinking age. And then I want to talk about the compromises and even the stereotypes that people might have of kids my age that are drinking. I am currently 19 years old and I just turned 19. I'm new in college, so I'm a freshman, but I just kind of got out of high school. So I know what a lot of people are dealing with, especially my age or even a year younger that are 18. First, I want to bring up a couple reasons why I think it would be easier and better for the drinking age to be lowered to 18. The first reason I found is from cognac.com, and it's about 15 reasons of why the drinking age should be lowered to 18. This is a quote that I feel is very strong, and it's probably the best support of my theory. An 18-year-old in the U.S. has the right to vote and serve in the military. If an 18-year-old can decide who is president and take a bullet for their country, they should have every right to purchase and consume alcohol. I completely agree with this statement. When you turn 18 in the U.S., you are considered an adult. You are tried as an adult, you can go to prison at this time, and turning 18 you have a lot of responsibilities. You go off to college or even different states. A friend of mine is even in a different country. He's in Japan right now, in the military, living on his own, making his own decisions. And I feel that if we're going to be living on our own at 18 and making our own decisions at 18, why can't we consume alcohol at 18 like everyone else? Another reason why I think that the drinking age should be lowered to 18 is found at procon.org, and it's allowing 18-year-olds to drink in regulated environments with supervision would decrease unsafe drinking. Basically, what this is saying is if I felt like going out to dinner with some friends to a bar and grill or even any restaurant and they served alcohol, it should be no problem and that I order a drink or anyone else order a drink if at 18 or 19. It's supervised and it's safe. Because we don't have this in the U.S., it forces teens my age or younger to go to colleges or go to house parties or fraternities or any other party-related place where they can drink and possibly even do drugs. It's completely unsafe, I'll admit, and I think it would be a lot better if it was more accepted and we were able to drink at pretty much out in public. Another thing that I found was very interesting to me, which it's completely true, was from SSDP. It stands for Student for Sensible Drug Policy, and it's about drugs and alcohol in teens. They quoted, "American youth alcohol policy is a perfect example with unrealistic expectations." Basically, it's saying that there's a lot of consequences for drinking underage, and everyone still does it. Another thing that supports this is they did a survey, and 90% of high school students say that alcohol is easy to obtain. I can second that. I was in high school last year, and even in college now. It is very easy to obtain alcohol and to purchase it and get it within like a day. So if you have a party, it's really not hard to get. And it's sad, I'll admit, it shouldn't be like this, but it is. Another thing I'd like to point out, which is from Alcohol Problems and Solutions, they did an article on the minimum legal age for drinking around the world. The average age of all countries around the world is 15.9. So basically, let's say 16 years old and you can drink in a lot of countries. However, most countries are 18 years old, which I think should be in the US. Let me point out, 7 countries out of all countries in the world have the legal age of 21. 7. And the US is one of those 7. This drinking age of 21 is the highest of all countries. And I think we should jump on that bandwagon and go with 18. However, I do know that many people have concerns about lowering the drinking age. One of them can be found on ScienceDaily.com, and it's lowering drinking ages leads to more binge drinking in colleges. I agree. I know many people who binge drink in college. And I know another concern that people have is drunk driving and crashes and such. A compromise that I think would go with lowering the drinking age in the binge drinking in colleges is it goes a little hand in hand with the unsafe drinking. If we knew we had places that we were allowed to drink, we wouldn't result to go to colleges or college parties or anything like that to drink or binge drink. Last, I want to talk about the stereotypes. Many people, many older adults, do have stereotypes and think that lowering the drinking age will bring up alcoholics or something like that. I'm educated. I go to a university. I do not party on the weekends. I don't do drugs. However, I do participate in underage drinking. I'll admit it. I like to have a good time with my friends sometimes when everyone comes home from school, but that doesn't make me an alcoholic. I'm perfectly fine. I'm not depressed. I don't binge drink, and I feel like I'm a good example of this. I know that many people probably think I'm crazy and would completely disagree with me, but I would love to know comments and any feedback that you have for me. So thank you. I hope you kind of share my point now, and hopefully we can lower this drinking age and be happy.